Hello everyone and welcome back to Teacup Tarot, and in today's video we are looking at Mars going retrograde in Aries on September the 9th, and it will go direct again on November 13th. So this is like a 2 months period. Now this is going to be a period of evolution not only at our personal levels but also globally. Now this is like a perfect time for you guys to evaluate your journeys, like the path that you're walking on, especially your goals. This is a very good time for you to reassess your goals and sort of change the way you approach them. Okay, if I have to sort of sum it up, this is going to be a perfect time for you guys to learn those important life lessons, especially since this retrograde is starting on September 9, which is 9/9. So this is like almost a completion of a 2-year period, because the last Mars retrograde was 2 years back in 2018. So really reflect on these 2 years period and sort of learn the lessons that you're supposed to learn. If I just have to leave you with very basic, all I'll tell you is, when this Mars retrograde begins, like, take care of yourself, like focus on self-care and also trust your intuition. Okay, now we will start off with our reading for today. As usual, you have 3 piles in front of you. You can pick out whichever one that speaks to you the most, and then we shall start off with the very first one, which is pile 1. Hello, and if you have picked pile 1, let us look into what this retrograde period of Mars is going to bring in for you. We are going to be starting off with your tarot card, and we have the Emperor. Now, the Emperor sort of personifies that Mars energy. He is direct, he is assertive, he really is very careful about his boundaries. He is very hardworking, definitely, but he just has that vibe of ownership, creating his own rules. And I think that is something that is going to be very important for you as you move forward in this Mars retrograde period. So possibly you guys are now not going to be very comfortable taking orders from somebody else, because you are very much going to be like, I am going to be making my own rules. I am in certain cases going to be my own boss, and this is how I'm going to be proceeding. So I definitely see that assertive, independent energy when it comes to you guys as you go forward with this 2 months. But make sure to sort of have that distinction between being assertive and being aggressive, because of the Mars energies coming in. You just have to be a little bit careful about those boundaries there. The next one for you is, it's time for action. So yes, I think it wonderfully complements the Emperor card. This is going to be very much a time for action to you. So you guys are going to be having that extra energy, that extra enthusiasm, that extra drive is what I'm seeing. And what you guys are going to be doing is, you're going to be taking action towards all the plans that you have in your mind, all the ideas that you have in your mind, and everything that you want to accomplish is going to be 100%, on the go. So there is this directness that is coming in again. So yes, definitely it's time to take action for you guys. And again, the energy is gaining momentum. So for you, especially if things have slowed down, especially in the past 2 years, remember I spoke about sort of completions and things that have really been starting for the past 2 years, but now is the time it will really gain ground, especially for things that you've been working on for quite some time now. Now is the time that you are going to be making that rapid progress, is what I'm seeing. So you're going to be really gaining momentum, and the energy is going to be building. That is something I definitely see. As far as your health is concerned as well, I feel like you guys are really healing, and you guys are now ready to take up any challenges that may come your way. You are ready to face those obstacles head on. And the next card again is a leadership. So yes, this is going to be a very significant period for you. I think for a lot of people, this period is going to be like a make period. They say the make or break period. No, for you guys, this is about what you can do, because you have the energy, you have the drive. Now it is time to not shy away from taking those leadership responsibilities, to taking that leadership position in your life and really taking your life in a direction that you need to take. Remember, again, with the Emperor, you are very assertive, you know what you want, you are no longer letting those rules bind you, you are going in your own direction, and that is coming across very, very strongly with the Mars going retrograde, and it is going retrograde in Aries now. That again is something very significant. The next thing, however, what I get is you surrendering. So there is one thing, you should know the right time to push, and you should know the time when it is not the right time to push, it is the time to surrender. So this is about maintaining that balance, that yes, it is important to go all out to accomplish your goals, you have the energy backing you, but make sure, like I said, you are not coming across as aggressive, you're not coming across as somebody who's really pushing their own agenda, because because you are so in your own thing, you are very, very much in your own zone, you realize where your power lies, people might look at you slightly differently, because they're probably used to you being one way, and the fact that you've changed suddenly is going to be coming across as a shocker to certain people. So when it comes to especially your personal relationships, my advice to you is make sure you don't maintain that aggressive energy, because when it comes to your relationship, that little bit of balance, that little bit of tenderness is also needed. So make sure when it comes to arguments, when it comes to certain aspects where two people come head on, know when to surrender. Don't make this an ego battle, which sometimes is the case with the Emperor. Okay, so knowing when to stop, knowing when to surrender, and knowing that, okay, this might not be the right time to push my individual agendas is also something you need to remember during these 2 months. All right. What do you need to surrender? Okay, you need to surrender procrastination. So now is the time to jump. Clearly, we have accomplished that with the next 2 cards. So I think for a couple of you, you could still be in that zone of the last 2 years where you might feel the need to procrastinate slightly, where you're wondering, should I be really doing this? Is this the right time? So I'm here to tell you, my dear friends, that this is not the time for you guys to procrastinate. Don't put off your goals, okay? So take action. Anything that you want to do towards your own success, towards your own goals, this is the right time. Okay, definitely not a time to surrender. Working on your goals, definitely not a time to procrastinate. Okay, connect with the fire. Now I really don't think you guys need any more extra fire, because from the way I see it, the next 2 months you're going to be fired enough. But this also speaks about working with fire, because this is about connecting with your own self. This is from the self-care. So for you guys, reflecting is what is coming in. So, light that candle, sit with yourself and reflect. Again, let me remind you, this is also a time of learning your lessons. So possibly just lighting that candle, sitting with yourself and reflecting on your lessons is also coming in. What is it that you've learned? And what is it that you can carry with you in this next journey is coming in very strongly. So don't forget, there are certain lessons that you need to learn from your past, especially this past 2-year period, that from the last Mars retrograde to this period, because you have learned something, and those lessons are going to be very, very crucial for you in this upcoming journey. So for your self-care as well, it is about connecting with fire, connecting with the fire element, lighting a candle, and whichever way you connect. Okay, so that is what is coming in very strongly. And the last card here is about paradigm shifts. This is about surprises. So this is again about, it's almost like all of a sudden you have this energy, and this energy might surprise you in itself, along with the fact that people around you are going to be surprised. So possibly you are somebody who likes to take things slow, take things one at a time, and you're going to be like full of energy, accomplishing things in possibly a week that takes you a month to accomplish. And that is in itself an entire shift. So your energy is shifting, your life is shifting, the way you live your life is changing now. These 2 months period, the amount of efforts that you can put in towards your goal, I suggest you put in, because the efforts that you reap in are also going to be tremendous. One word of advice: when it comes to matters of authority, especially challenging your authority, I suggest know when to surrender, know when to give up. Don't push your agenda so much that you alienate people, is also something that is coming in. So that is my only warning to you, for you guys, as far as your Mars retrograde in Aries is concerned, because things are just going to be going in your favor, is the way I see it. But just make sure to maintain that little bit of softer aspects, that little bit of balance in your relationships, because in any journey of your life, balance is especially crucial. Okay, I will leave you with that, and I shall see you in my next one. Bye bye. Hello everyone, and if you have chosen pile 2, this is your reading for the Mars retrograde in Aries. So let us know what is in store for you. Okay, now you have the Chariot card. The Chariot is all about giving your life your direction. This is about really being in the driver's seat of your life, whether it is towards your goals, whether it is in terms of your relationship, or the general decisions that you make. There is also a possibility that you might come across a couple of choices here, and the choice again has to be made on the basis of what feels right to you. Again, I will tell you to exercise your intuition while making these decisions, because your intuition, especially with this Mars retrograde period, is going to be on point, is what I'm getting. Whatever it is, you have certain decisions to make, you have a specific direction to go, but make sure this direction is your own direction and not influenced by somebody else. So the next one for you is prosperity lies ahead. So yes, the decisions that you take now, the direction that you head in, because it is very much based on the basis of what you want to do with your life, the direction you want to take, the way you want to approach your goals, you are headed into a zone of prosperity. So this Mars retrograde period actually is going to be really good for you, is the way I see it. Okay. The next one that we have is self-discipline. So not only is it important for you people to give your life your direction, but there is also a need for you guys to proceed with a certain amount of discipline. This can be towards your career, this could be any area of your life. If you want prosperity to come in, if you want to achieve success in anything that you do, and this is something I keep talking about, especially in my posts on Instagram, that self-discipline is the key ingredient when it comes to achieving anything great in your life. See, they say Rome was not built in a day. Definitely it was not built in a day, but it was also not built by people acting in an indisciplined manner. So this is about having a plan and sticking to the plan with everything you got. Now this also speaks to me about your everyday behavior. This speaks to me about your habits. What time do you wake up? Do you have a schedule? So that schedule is really going to be very, very important for you. You also need a very strict plan of action as you move ahead with this energy of the retrograde. Retrograde sometimes puts us off, from our plans, from our actions. So especially for you guys, if you are somebody who sort of sways from your path sometimes, so it is important for you to act in a self-disciplined manner. Okay, now the next thing that is coming in is especially very interesting. This is also for you going to be a time of healing. Now understand, the last Mars retrograde period happened 2 years ago, and just reflect on what happened in your life during these past 2 years, especially with regards to relationship, any area of your life where you've been hurt. This could also be for your health, in fact. This is a time that healing will come in, not only physical healing, but also emotional healing is what I see. I think you are really, really proceeding in a way that is going to be very good for you, is what I see, because you're giving your life your direction, you're sort of taking your time to yourself. I think that healing energy is going to be coming in very, very strongly. Okay. Also for you guys, the very first card in itself was Sanctuary. So this speaks to me that when you feel in this journey of your life, there is a need to rest, make sure you rest. Make sure you give yourself that time of healing is something that I'm getting in. The key aspect when it comes to living a life of discipline is knowing when the time for action is and when the time for rest is. For example, this could also be about your specific schedules. Now, I am a person, I work best these days in the morning. I have all the energy in the morning. So like I'm getting up at 5 a.m., I'm doing my morning routine, and I am off to work by 7, doing my own personal things. And then as the rest of the day proceeds, once the evening comes in, that is my time to relax. So that is again going to be crucial for you. Figure out when the time for you is when you're at your most active self, and sort of keep your most active zone that time. Keep the most important work that time. Like this is the time when you're most productive. So sort of, arrange your schedule accordingly is what I'm getting. But make sure you are spending that time with yourself, because healing is also coming in for you guys, okay? Now we come into what you need to surrender. So what you need to surrender is this fear of change. So change is definitely coming in because you're heading in a new direction. Don't be afraid of this change, because you are protected all the time in your life. And you also could be called to make certain changes, possibly in your job, the way you approach the work you do. This could also be a career change for a few of people, okay? But this could also be about your health. Now making some changes, maybe getting in an exercise routine, having that discipline again. But this could also be a change in your relationships is what I'm getting. Probably the way you relate to another person will change. Possibly you might be making some changes in your relationship. Possibly you're becoming you're getting in tune with the other person is also what is coming in, because you already have the prosperity card. So these changes can possibly help your relationship is also something that I get. You need to have faith in your life. You need to have faith in the journey of your life is also something that is coming in very strongly. The next one for you is transformation, and you are asked to have patience in this journey. So for you, what I get is the next 2 months can possibly bring a little bit of challenges for you guys. See, anytime you make changes in your life, it is going to bring you towards new territories, unfamiliar territories. It is going to take you on paths that you've not walked on before. So at this time, it's important for you guys to have that patience with yourself. Rely on your intuition to guide you towards taking that right next step. But you are going to be having a beautiful journey in this next 2 months, one that is going to take you towards prosperity. So don't be afraid of change, and don't be afraid of making these changes in your life is what I'm getting. And for your self-care, this is so beautiful. Look for the fairies. So take that time out and really spend some time in nature, or just wondering about the beauties of the world. This is telling you to not get so lost in your life that you sort of forget to enjoy the everyday things. So take pleasure in little moments of your life in this next 2 months. Don't make it so much about your ambitions, because see, Mars is a very direct energy, it's a very strong energy. So when the energy is strong, it is important for you to be soft with yourself. So look for the fairies, look for the little joys in these next 2 months is also going to be equally important for you guys to enjoy this journey of your life. That is what I'm getting in. But prosperity is coming, abundance is coming. Don't be afraid to change. That is what I'm going to leave you with. Okay? And I'm going to be seeing you in my next video. Bye-bye. Hello everyone and welcome back. And if you have chosen pile 3, this is what's in store for you for the Mars retrograde period. Okay, so we'll take the very first one. You have Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, it's my absolute favorite queen. She is very direct in her approach. She is a no-nonsense person. She knows how to get to the heart of the matter. So she is not a person who will work with a lot of fluff. She is a problem solver. She's somebody who works with logic. The area of the intellect is her area, and that's exactly the kind of energy that is coming in for you with this Mars retrograde in Aries. So this is the time to cut off all the things that don't belong. This is a time to be clear about what is it that you want. Okay, have that amount of clarity as you proceed. Be direct in the way you approach situations, in the way you approach your career, in the way you take your decisions is what I'm taking. getting here. All right, so the next one that is really coming in for you is about your commitment being tested. So as you move into this Mars retrograde period, possibly, you know, when you walk on this path, you might feel a little bit tested. You might feel like, certain challenges pop up. But remember, this is also going to be a time of completion. This is also going to be a time of achievements. So when you're nearest to your goals is when I've realized, you come across minor things. The things come up to put you off the path, but you have to remain focused. You have to be clear about the fact that you need a solution. You have to accomplish your goals. That success is what you want, and you're not going to be stopping. Now, the Queen of Swords really makes a lot of sense, okay? So when you feel like in the next 2 months your commitment is tested, remember the message of the Queen of Swords. Be clear. This is not the time to sort of be very, very, emotional about things. This is a time about clear decisions, and those clear decisions need to be taken. The next one is step out of your comfort zone. So for you guys, the most apt solution to your problem is not going to be the most obvious one. So you might need to sort of, make certain adjustments in the way you approach your life, in the way you approach solutions to problems. So the solution to your problem is going to be different than what it usually is like. So remember to step out of your comfort zone. Also, don't be afraid to try anything new is what I'm really getting in. So, alternative approaches to your problem is what I'm really getting in. But this also speaks to me about trying something new in your life. Really having fun with the process is also what I'm getting here. The next one for you guys is the relationship change. Okay. Now, when it comes to your relationship, there are going to be some changes, but these are happy changes is what I'm getting in. Because this specific card speaks about, you adjusting yourself to your partner. This is you adjusting yourself in a way that you've not done before. This is about looking at your relationship with a fresh set of eyes. This is about you not being rigid. This is about you getting that clarity that, okay, these are the things that need to happen and this is the way that I need to work now. So this is about you approaching your relationship in an entirely different light. But relationship also speaks to me about completion in certain aspects, because the Mars in retrograde starts on September 9, which is 9/9, which is about completion. So this speaks to me about deepening your commitment. This speaks to me about engagements. This also speaks to me about wedding invitations. Wedding announcements is also something that I get. So celebrations could also be happening with you is something that I'm really getting, especially with this card. So this is about stepping out of your comfort zone for your partner. Doing something good for your relationship, changing the way you approach your relationship. So the next one that we have is, okay, now this is very interesting. This talks about synchronicity. Now things happening almost magically. This will almost feel like there is somebody helping you behind the scenes. This could be people coming together magically. Okay, so this is almost going to feel like, you've done something good in the past and you get the rewards now in the present moment. Now this is especially significant because, if you've paid attention at the beginning of the video, this speaks about a completion of sorts. So this is about learning your lessons, but this is also about gaining rewards out of it. Okay, so anything good that you've done in the past 2 years period, that is almost paying off for you is what I'm getting in. So again, this is about, things happening magically, things just working out in your favor. Again, because the card you have here is your commitment being tested, you are almost at the finality of certain things. Like you are one step away from achieving success. And then what I feel is, because you are stepping out of your comfort zone and trying new things, things sort of come together magically. And this really makes more sense because of the relationship change card, which again speaks about things getting better in your relationship. So this 2 months period is especially going to be important in your life, because what I get is the kind of momentum you gain now is going to be mind blowing. Okay, but things are going to be happening magically, almost as if, it's the hand of God weaving things into your life. So I am really excited for you guys. But again, you're called to take action, because your commitment is being tested, and you also have stepped out of your comfort zone. So you cannot at this point of time just sit back and let things happen because of the synchronicity. The more action you take towards your life, the more you work consciously towards achieving your dreams, the more conscious you are about building your life, the more rapidly are you going to be making progress. But your action is something that you need to be taking, but that has to be decisive action. That has to be an action based on clarity. Okay, now that is something that I'm really getting here. What do you need to surrender to? So what do you need to surrender is a rest and sleep, but this is surrendering to. So this speaks about not only working, not only making your life all about action, but because you're so action oriented, because your commitment is being tested, don't burn yourself out. See, Mars in Aries is a very direct energy. It's an energy of extreme enthusiasm. It is an action packed card, and especially for you guys is that you have action already. You're going to be so much in the driver's seat of your life. You are going to be so clear about the approach that you need to take. Now I have to really warn you that it is equally going to be important to honor your needs of self-care. So it is important to take care of yourself as well. Make sure you're eating well, make sure you're resting well as well. So this is going to be a period for you that not only your goals are going to be important, but don't neglect your body, don't neglect your mind and your spirit, because only when your body, mind, spirit and your actions are in complete balance are you able to live a life that is truly fulfilling. So when you are taking all of these actions, when you're stepping out of your comfort zone, don't forget to pay that attention to your self-care. Okay, which brings me to your self-care card, and this is take a walk. Really makes sense and really ties this up together. So it is going to be important for you guys as you're working towards your goal, as you're progressing in this Mars retrograde in Aries. Take a walk. Okay, when you feel like you're just feeling intense emotions, because emotions are going to be intensified during this period, especially if you are prone to some anger is what I'm getting here, especially if you are prone to outbursts of emotions, which happens to all of us during this Mars season, because Mars is like a fiery planet. It is going to be important for you then to disconnect and give yourself that time. So make sure you're giving a little bit of more priority to your evening walks, or just taking that little walk in nature if you're allowed to do that, with taking precautions. But make sure you're taking that time to rest and really connect with yourself, and just take a walk when you feel like you've had enough or you've just focused too much on action. Okay, so self-care is equally important as is the rest of your life, but Mars, especially for you guys, the energy of retrograde is going to be intense, so make sure you pay that little bit of attention towards your self-care as well. And that is it from me when it comes to your Mars retrograde in Aries, and I wish you guys the best. And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give a thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel, because that'll make me really happy, and I shall see you in my next one. Bye bye.